What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to do a comparison side by side with my Honda Civic Type-R and Lamborghini Gallardo. Now before anybody comments below and asks me why in the world am I comparing two cars that are clearly not competitors, these are my cars, and honestly I find these to be a really good duo, and the Lamborghini is 3 times the price. Does that mean the Lambo is 3 times the fun? Comparing it to the Civic Type-R. Now in the past, when I had the R35 GT-R, I had that alongside 2 of my Toyota Supras, and I made videos comparing it to the automatic Supra and the manual Supra. And I recently traded in the manual Supra for the Type-R because I felt like it wasn't really the best complementary car to the Lambo. It's a 2-seater, small car, 2-door, and it was kind of competing to where I would always pick the Lambo over the Supra. Supra's an amazing car, but I'm finding the Type-R to be a much better car alongside this one. So with that said, let's go over some of the basics, the specs inside and out of what these Type-R versus the Lamborghini Gallardo has to offer, drive them each, talk about what I use them each for, and then meet back here and talk about, is this a great duo and is this car 3 times the fun? Moving on to some performance information, the Honda Civic Type-R has a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged motor, has 315 horsepower with 310 pound-feet of torque. It is front-wheel drive with a 6-speed manual transmission. 0 to 60 is 5.3 seconds, top speed is 170, and overall curb weight is 3,188 pounds. For the Lamborghini Gallardo, this is powered by a naturally aspirated 5.2-liter 10-cylinder engine with 550 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. This has a 0 to 60 of 3.9 seconds, top speed is 199 miles per hour, has a 6-speed single-clutch automated manual transmission, and overall curb weight is just over 3,000 pounds. Onto the exterior styling, which of course couldn't be more different. We have the 4-door hot hatch on the Civic Type-R. I do like how we're finished in white. We also have the red accents throughout it, Brembo braking system, and then the Lamborghini Gallardo finished off in the same color. So pretty cool to have matching duos, and we still have the red brake calipers as well, just a couple extra pistons, ventilated rotors with the drilled, and of course we have that wedge shape 2-door supercar. And in back we got a nice big wing on the Civic Type-R, got that good sloping rear end design to give it a really nice appearance. In back on the Lambo, I also have a big wing finished in carbon fiber. Onto the interior now with the Honda Civic Type-R. This is a pretty modern car. You're gonna get a nice multimedia screen in the center. You can monitor vitals. We of course have your basic things like Apple CarPlay, built-in navigation, settings, everything you would expect on a new car. You can also go in reverse and you have pretty good HD graphics for the backup camera. Climate controls in the center, pretty sporty design. There are some plastics, synthetic materials all around. We have a nice sporty set of bucket seats finished off in this red. They are a very cool design. Steering wheel leather, 3-spoke with red stitching, and then a nice gauge cluster with a pretty cool design overall. Good visibility from a hatchback, huge windshield, huge glass windows all around it, so no issues there. Even that wing is not in the way whatsoever. Now into the Lamborghini Gallardo. This one is going to be covered in leather over all these surfaces with contrast stitching, so much nicer use of materials. Not as aggressive of bucket seats, however, these are still pretty sporty. Very old school technology with a super old design for the infotainment. However, we still have a backup camera. Graphics are decent for the most part. There is built-in navigation, physical climate controls throughout the center with heated seats. You got the nice leather wrapped steering wheel with a flat bottom design, and a more old school gauge cluster. However, you are able to go through it a little bit and see a few different things toggling through. So there still is a little bit of technology. There's no wireless Apple CarPlay. However, there is a plug in the glove box to plug in my modern cell phone and listen to some music. For the view around, much more of that wedge shape, hunkered down design with small windows, and then over your right shoulder, really not the worst. You can see the wing in the back, especially in your rear view. But this is a sweet interior to be in. Now the type of driving I use this car for are the opposites. This is a toy. This is basically what I bought this for. It is purely a toy to have fun with, but I also do the basic transportation. So really nothing in the middle. It's primarily basic transportation, going to like a dealership and back just to film a review of other cars, you know, the dealerships have, or purely fun. Go on mountain road trips, do car shows, different events like that. I have done quite a few road trips in this car. It is not ideal, however, it's fun because it's a Lamborghini. It's fun to be able to take this different places. So I've taken a trip to my childhood hometown. That was a 9-hour round trip. Done a couple events, actually even with a Lamborghini dealership, which was pretty fun. We drove this 11-hour homes. I do all sorts of just driving. So I drive this a lot just to enjoy the thrill of what it has to offer. I don't really use this in a utilitarian sense. Sometimes we will do like a small grocery shopping trip and I'll take this car just because it's an excuse to drive it. I like driving it, and if we just need to literally get a gallon of milk, we'll take this because obviously we can fit a gallon of milk in the trunk and it's purely fun. So this car, 99% of the driving is strictly for fun use. I've driven it about 4,000 miles in over a year, which is honestly not bad for something that isn't a daily driver. Now, the fun factor in this car is unmatched with the single clutch transmission. Oh man, there is character to the shifting. The 10-cylinder is an addicting sound. It is intoxicating to accelerate and hear this thing roar. It is so much fun on a whole new level, quite honestly. So handling, we've done a lot of mountain trips. This handles good. It's also a car you gotta be on your toes, obviously. The way it handles, there's not really driver aids and things. It's rear-wheel drive, you know, so it can definitely get out from under you if you hit a big bump or something like that on a turn. But it is fun to go through the mountains and just drive it. So I like that aspect. When I drive at places, you can't drive this without getting people giving you the thumbs up, waving, taking photos, talking to you at a gas station. It gets a lot of attention. It's all been positive attention. People love seeing it. It's kind of that sweet spot. Yes, it's an expensive car, but it's not $1 million SVJ. So when people see it, it's more of like, what is that car? Is that one of those Lamborghini, Ferrari type of cars? So it's cool to share it with people because you don't see these every day. So this car, it just offers a whole new driving experience, even though it doesn't really have the practicality. But with that, the trunk is big enough for 2 backpacks and maybe 2 lunch boxes. The shelf behind, I bought a mini lunch box that perfectly fits behind my driver's seat. So when I go places, I can fit a whole lunch and an extra water bottle back there. So it's actually been practical enough for what we use it for, to where we can genuinely spend a day driving this car, exploring the area, doing an event or whatever. And it's not like you can't bring anything with you. And it's a new enough, modern enough car to where it's still livable and usable. It's just got that edge. Man. It's also plenty fast. You will hit 100 without thinking, and given the sounds, there's so much sound this car produces. There's a raw shift with the transmission. You feel like you're going 100 even when you're going slow. So this is a car, no matter how I'm driving it, it is exhilarating and fun. The only thing I hate with this car is driving it in bumper-to-bumper traffic. It feels and operates exactly like a stick shift manual transmission. And it's just not the greatest feeling when you're creeping in traffic going 2 miles an hour. This is a car I don't just save for sunny days. I just drive as long as it's not raining and I'm not going on like the highway for hours and hours where I know there'll be traffic. I will try to choose to take this car. With that said, I'm obviously not going to take this car in every circumstance. If I need to bring stuff, have people with me, or if I'm just not feeling up to driving this. I feel like this car does take a little extra like mental attention. If you're, you know, tired from a long day, this isn't really the car to drive just because it takes more focus. You've got to be on your toes more with this car. And the more energetic you are with this car, the more you're going to enjoy what it has. Oh man. However, if you've had a boring day and you want to get your blood flowing and get some adrenaline going, that's when I'll take this. I will take this car out for no reason. I will literally drive it 10 miles to go fill up, even though the gas station is 2 miles down the road. So I will use this car to drive, purely to drive. And that to me is the best part about this. I can use it for the normal stuff, but man, oh man, this is the best therapy. You ride in this car, you drive it, and you are just in a whole new world of fun. So this car is pretty well rounded. The things that I like about it a lot are the fact that at the end of the day, it's a Honda Civic, which is a generic, normal commuter car, really no big deal. And yet Honda's taken it and turned it into something that is a blast. And for a third the price, the fact that I have so much fun driving this car is a testament to where, I mean, there are so many awesome cars without breaking the bank. So that's something that I like, and I have been really enjoying the step back from the Supra. The Supra was an amazing car, but with it alongside the Lambo, it almost felt too fancy for what I wanted. I like how I can hop in this and be under the radar in a generic car, but still have a lot of fun. So I'm really enjoying that aspect. Also, being a hatchback, this thing is so practical. We went golfing the other day. I mean, we can throw our golf bags behind the rear seats, and yet you could have extra people in it. So 4 people could take this golfing. It's so practical. We can go to Costco, do grocery shopping, load it up with hundreds of dollars worth of food. I mean, you can go anywhere, you can do anything with this. I don't have to worry about the road conditions, the parking situation. I don't care if it's raining. Like, I don't care. I can drive this whenever, for whatever reason, and it'll just do everything for me without drawing a crowd. Now, the Lambo gets good attention. I would say it's nice that it doesn't get anything negative. However, it is also nice to be in a car where people aren't just driving by taking photos, driving with you on the highway, staring at you. It's nice to be kind of under the radar and just be chilling in a car that most people don't know is anything special. Car people obviously know the Type-R is above and beyond a typical Civic, but you know, the majority of people, this is nothing special. So with that said, the fun factor is so there. Now, it's not fast. The Lambo is significantly faster than this, but this thing's quick. It gets up to speed quickly. You can use all the revs of all the gears on the back roads without really worrying about breaking the speed limits. I rarely look down at my speed when I'm going through the back roads with this. We took this on a mountain road trip, made a video on that, and I don't think we went above 60 miles an hour. So we literally weren't even speeding, but we were having a blast just ripping through the gears. It handles so well. This is one of the best steering cars. I mean, it just turns into a little go-kart. And the fact that it's an affordable price point car and just the Civic at the end of the day, you can have worry-free fun. And sometimes that's better than the fun you get in a Lambo just because it's an expensive car. It's very expensive to fix the Lamborghini. Parts are hard to find. Not a car you want to have to do that twice. This car, obviously, I'm going to take care of it, do all that, treat it good. But being it's a typical car, you can just thrash on it and not have to worry about it. It's a whole different level of, I guess, stress. Not to say I'm stressed driving the Lambo, but you are very aware you are driving an expensive car. That is not typical. This car, I don't care about any of that. I'm just having fun driving a go-kart. And that to me is one of my absolute favorite parts of this. Now, on top of all that, given it's a modern car, this is a 2024 model year, we do have the technology, which I don't really care about a lot of that tech, quite honestly, but the fact that I got the CarPlay, I got this cool display with vitals in the car. I mean, this is something that I can use in a modern world. It's nice to have ease of access to navigation, a better backup camera. Having cruise control is really cool, especially with the lane keeping and the distance pacing. It makes it to where if I'm going on a long trip or something with this, it's so easy. These seats are very well padded, super supportive. Some people find this car to be a little on the harsh side. After you drive the Lambo, you drive this and you feel like you're in a luxury car. So to me, I honestly feel so comfortable in it. So after driving in the Type-R alongside the Lamborghini Gallardo, overall thoughts, how do these cars compare? Are they competitors? Obviously not. Is the Lamborghini 3 times the fun for 3 times the price? In many ways, I would say yes, just because this is my baby, my dream car. It's so exhilarating. It is unlike anything else. There's literally no car out there that drives the way this does. It gives me something that you can't find elsewhere. With that said, I find these two to be really good complementary cars. I feel like where I don't want to drive the Lambo, the Civic is perfect for it. It does everything I need at that 1/3 the price. So I like how these two cars kind of play off each other with their strengths and their weaknesses. Just like when I had the GT-R and the Supras, I felt like those two were a fantastic duo. But once I upgraded the GT-R to the Lambo, it seems to work a lot better, downgrading the Supra into the Type-R. And honestly, I don't really find it as a downgrade. I know a lot of people these days kind of crave that more expensive car, that more powerful car here and there. It's fun to work towards, obviously, the next step up. But sometimes downgrading a little bit, you get to relax a little bit more with a step down in car and have just as much fun. Now, with that said, last thing to talk about is pricing. So insurance on the Lambo, this is about $1,500 per year to keep it on the road. The Civic is $600. As far as property taxes, this is about $1,200. This is like $400. I get 18 MPG in the Lambo, which is actually not that bad. 24 MPG in the Honda Civic. But I think that is about going to wrap it up comparing the Civic Type-R to the Lamborghini Gallardo. Super cool duo of a car for sure. I think this is a great two-car combo. Comment below, what would be your dream car, two-car garage? If you guys enjoyed today's video, if you did, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.